Hello. So I'm going to be giving a rundown of kind of like a 101 of Fluid Engine, and kind of just the differences between what you're used to, which is the classic editor in 7.1. And this is still 7.1. It's just like Fluid Engine is just like another section. So we're going to have access to using classic editor, which is what you're used to, or 7. If you're on 7.0, this is not for you. This is for 7.1. So you'll always have use of your classic editor, but now you're going to have the option of adding in Fluid Engine, which gives you so much creative flexibility, but it just takes a bit of getting used to. So I just want to take you through what you can do. And the best thing to do, so firstly, the things not to do is on your existing website. So I'm going to go down. This is just like a template I'm working with. So here is a classic editor section, which I'm going to sort of play around with and show you. Now, in your website in 7.1, you will have this button here. As soon as you press upgrade, there's no going back. So don't press upgrade unless you want to be in Fluid Engine. What I would suggest is that, say you had this section, say this was your section on your website, I would press this, which is duplicate, and then so it would duplicate, so it would be exactly the same, and then you upgrade, and then have a plain Fluid Engine. Okay, so that's one thing. I'll delete that for now. The other thing, well, how about I just get stuck in? So this is 7.1. So with 7.1, you've got these plus icons. And so basically, you're working with spacer blocks to create your layout. And all your blocks are dependent upon each other. So say I wanted to, so this is really, I haven't got a plan for what I'm going to be designing, but I'm just going to show you basic things. So let's select an image from my library. Okay, now that image is really big. To make it small, I would have to, so this is 7.1, classic editor. To make it small, I'd have to make a couple of spacer blocks and put one on each side. I mean, there's various ways you can do it. And you have to make sure that it's aligned. So that blue line doesn't go below or above the image. So you have to play around with that a little bit. My internet somehow has gone slow because I'm on Loom. Come on, let's do that. There we go. Do you see how I just played around with it, put it in the center, and it sort of locked just on the image? So that's made it really small. Let's keep it on that side, actually. I really like that. I want to make it shorter as well. So what I would have to do is either edit it in editor mode or lift it up just to be able to view it better. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? It's snapped somewhere. All right, let's leave it like that. If I was to add a text block here, I would never be able to sort of, it would always have to be either on the side, or I'd have to use spacer blocks to put it lower. I couldn't just sort of move it around independently. If I move this block over the top of this one, it gives me that blue line above it. So I can only put it above it or next to it or below it. So basically all the blocks are dependent on each other. Now the difference in Fluid Engine, let's see, where's my section Fluid Engine? Here's my section Fluid Engine. Oh no, there. When you have add block in a section, that means you are in Fluid Engine because you're adding blocks rather than using the plus icons in the actual box. So I'm going to make this slightly bigger. So Fluid Engine works on a grid system. There's a really quick shortcut, which is really, really nice. Just press G and you'll get the grid system, press it out and you don't have it. Working with the grid system is really good because you can work out with layouts and things and make sure that you're really aligned. Because you have more freedom here, you need to sort of understand working with layout a little bit more. Let me just delete these sections. Okay. So to add an image here, just to do what I just did there, I would add it here, and I will show you in a minute how independent these blocks are from each other. We can layer them up. So I'm just going to move that. So see, I can just move it anywhere in the box, which is amazing. So select from library. Let's select same image. Now it's tiny here. To make it bigger, I would just drag. And now this is more of an editor that people are used to, because actually, and you see how the page moves down with it as well, allowing space. People are used to this kind of thing in Canva, for instance, or any really editing tool. It's very, very simple, the drag and drop method, basically. There's so many options as well with images. So if you go into this little icon, which is edit, you go into design, and you can fill the box with your image, which I absolutely love, and I mostly use that because it just is so nice to edit with images like that. If you wanted it back to the same ratio, you can have it there, but you can still make the same ratio with that. You just make it thinner and longer, and then it just fills the box. It's easier to play around with. And you've got the options of shapes, which is really fun. So have a look at shapes. So circles. I don't really use most of these shapes. I like things like this and circle. And I also like a window like that. But otherwise, yeah, I don't really use shapes that much. So let's put it back to fill. And then if I wanted to add a text block, so when you actually look at these are all, the offerings here are all the same. It's just a different entry point. So you add block with Fluid Engine, and on the other one, you press the plus arrow. So I want to add a text block here. Mindful coach. Now, so it's almost the same, but look, so my block was a bit short for the mindful coach to sort of fit in it. So all I need to do is drag it until coach pops up. And the beauty of it is I can put it above that. So let's take out the graph because you can't see how beautiful it looks. But you can play around with this, and then you've got layers. So basically, if I wanted to put that behind, so let's work with something else to put behind there. So I wanted to put something behind this image, one of these like scrolling banners. So say I'll double click there, and I'll keep it at Dream It, and I'll design it. I'll make it wavy. Let me move my face. Move it there. Okay. Go to design. No. Yeah. And I'll make it wavy. And I'll make it, yeah, medium's nice. And then I probably want it to just go in the right direction. Text is good. Speed, pause, hover, background. There's all sorts of things that you can play around with here. So let's do that. Let's block away from that. And I'm going to put it a bit lower, right to the edge, like this. Not that low. Okay, and now it's over the image. I'm going to put it behind. So click on the block, and here you have the overlap. So if it's in front, you just press the other one, and it goes behind. And so it creates these beautiful layers. And then I could create like a little box behind here to sort of make it a bit more 3D and stand out a bit more. So to do that, I mean, this is becoming a full-blown tutorial now, but to do that, you would create a text box, and then you'd go into, move away the text box, there. You'd go into edit, design, and then background. And then depending on how you styled your colors, which actually I don't think I even styled them in this one, this template yet, very much. But say I wanted it just slightly behind. Oh, it's moving really slowly, so Hang on a minute, let's do that again. Stay there, good. And then say I wanted it sort of down to here. See how that looks, maybe a bit higher. Okay, and then I want this behind, so do that. Okay, and that right here will be gone once we save it. So then that just gives it another layer to it, and you could layer that with images. You could put in another image here. You could put in an image that just butts against the side, and then butts against the other side, and then put like a big title in the middle. Like, you can play with layouts so much, and you can get so creative. And I just absolutely love Fluid Engine for that. I'm just going to look over my notes to see if there's anything else I've missed. Yeah, so, oh, and also the 7.1, they're still using 7.1 Classic Editor for blog posts, event pages, project pages, and other various things. So it's hanging around for a while, but as Squarespace and most tech companies do, when they bring something big new in, then they need a rollout, So I think within a couple of years, maybe the Classic Editor will go. And then once Fluid Engine is really, really solid, because at the moment also there are some glitches. Like, sometimes I'll do something and I know I'm doing it right, but it just doesn't work. Or I'll edit something and then suddenly the image has popped to a different location. So they're still figuring things out, but it's really, really, really amazing and so fun to play with. Okay, the other amazing thing about Fluid Engine, move my face, is that you can design, move my face, come on. You can design mobile. Oh, why is it going back? Come on. You can design mobile independent from desktop. So in 7.1, it's just designed for you. You can't change anything. You have to change it on the desktop to change it on the mobile view. So you just have no flexibility. And now the statistics show that we're almost at 50-50 people viewing websites on phones and desktop, when, not that long ago, it was like 80-20. So it's really overtaking, and soon it will be more. So mobile design is really important. So let's move my face out of the way. And then up here you get the mobile view. Click it. So if we look, this is Classic Editor. I can't actually do anything with that. And anything I change here will change on desktop. So if you've got Classic Editor as well as Fluid Engine on your site, don't touch the Classic Editor ones. So this is Classic Editor one. Do you see that it's all messy and all over the place, and it actually doesn't look that good, and it doesn't look anything like we designed it on the desktop? So in the downfall of Fluid Engine is that any small changes that you make on the desktop on Fluid Engine, you have to immediately change on mobile. So it's a bit more high maintenance, but you have so much more flexibility. So let's just really have a quick rundown of how to edit this. So this little icon down here moves things down and up. I'm just going to give a little bit more space to edit. If you want to select a few items, you just drag until they're all selected and then drag them down. So I want to make this image a little bit thinner, and I want it to be a little bit longer. So you can change the size. You can change the size and move things around in mobile, and it won't change in the desktop, which is amazing. But you can't change the content. So you can't, for instance, if I wanted to change the mindful coach to the well-being coach, it just wouldn't work. It will change. So I want to move this around here and put it here. I'm going to move this dreamer here. If you've designed in Squarespace and you feel the lag, you know how I'm feeling right now because it doesn't cooperate. It just goes a bit slow sometimes. Okay, just stay there. I won't move it around too much to look good, but that is above it at the moment, so I'll go below it. You can't really see, it's very subtle, but now it's going behind. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, put that behind. There we go. And then we've got this block here. So let's put that above here. So you can't add space at the top. You can only add space at the bottom. So if you want to put things down, and I would like a little bit more space here, I'd select all and just drag. Okay. And then click away, style this, and then we're going to go back in a minute and see that it's not changed anything on desktop. The other thing is that it snaps to the grid, and there's a function which you can also change whether the grid is really close together or apart or custom. So you can play around with all of that. There's so much flexibility creatively. Let's just stop there. So I mean, I'm not really designing for look right now. I'm just showing you what can happen, and it's been very slow. Let's leave it there. Let's put that behind. Okay. And then to finish it off, we drag this up. And it will never go above the content. There'll be a red line. It won't allow it. So that is that. So let's save that and just look at desktop. So we'll look at desktop. So that's 7.1. That's, that's a beautiful, simple design. I absolutely love that. And you can also make that in Fluid Engine. I just wanted to show you that you've just got so much more flexibility here. The downfall also is, though, that because of the flexibility, you can make it look pretty crap pretty quickly. Like, this is too messy for me. There's too much going on, but I just wanted to show you all the things you can do. I would tweak this all. I would make this box more subtle and align it more. I'd maybe put this down. Maybe I'd drag this to the edge. Like, there's all sorts of things that you can do to sort of simplify it. But yeah, the creative flexibility is super fun. So yeah, do you see how that's stayed all the same, and we moved it all around desktop? So yes, the things to look out for, just to recap, is don't press upgrade button on your classic editor if you don't want to work in Fluid Engine yet. If you want to just have a play around, which I highly suggest you just break that seal, press duplicate on any of your sections and just have a play around. See like what you can do, like just get inspired with a layout and move it around. But also then be careful with just playing around too much, getting a bit like hot with like, oh, I can do anything, and then it just looks really bad and you add loads of things. And then also going off brand, because if everything is just really aligned and classic editor, and then suddenly things are like overlapping and you've got wavy lines, it's really, your brand has changed basically. So just be aware of those things. But those are sort of like the 101 of Fluid Engine. Reach out if you need any clarification on any more. And if you like this video, I've got plenty more coming up with Fluid Engine as well. And subscribe and like, and I will make more videos. All right, glad you enjoyed.